Okay, great. So everything's coming through live now.
Okay.
And here we
Okay,
are.
great.
So everything's coming through live now. Okay, we'll just mute this. And there is a delay. And so what we're going to be doing today is I'm Kristine of Share Beauty and Joy, and this is Natalie Hedges, and she is of.
I'm from Healing My Spirit with Natalie on YouTube.
Mhm. And today she's going to be regressing me. We'll be using the traditional BQH method, the Beyond Quantum Healing, that was first formulated by Candace Craw Goldman. And she's going to be putting me into a trance state so that I can easily channel messages for healing and information for humanity. You know, with all the crises going on at this time, we're looking for some positive, uplifting messages. Um, whatever a higher frequency being or energies that would like to come through to assist us at this time, we're welcome to. And so I'm going to let her take over now.
Okay. So with BQH, we start with a water alchemy, as water is very important. Water carries vibration. And so we set our intention for the session. So I always ask the client, what is their intention for the session? What is it they want to get out of the session? So Chris has told me she obviously is seeking this broader message for humanity at this time. So we're going to make that our intention for today. So Chris, do you have a glass of water handy?
I do.
Great. Now I've got a glass of water here too. So we're going to both place our right hand over the glass of water, and we're going to start thinking about our intention for our session together today. So I'd like you to visualize now, if you can, some beautiful color and light above your crown right now. As you start to think about your intention and visualize that color and light coming down into your crown, down into your head, traveling down your arms, and over and into the glass of water. Following that color and light as they infuse into your water as we speak the words of your intention. So I'd like you to repeat after me. I invoke my I am presence.
I invoke my I am presence.
And my intention for this session is
And my intention for this session is
to receive a broader message for humanity
to receive and transmit a broader message for humanity
that is clear and concise
that is clear and concise
and allows us to connect with divine beings we will both be working with in the future.
and allows us to connect with divine beings we will both be working with in the future.
So be it.
So be it.
Now drink your water as I drink mine, and the intention and the energies will flow throughout our bodies and all of our energy fields. Now, if you'd like to just get yourself nice and comfortable and ready to start trance work. Now, when we initially start trance work in BQH, we do a brain and heart coherence exercise to just help bring the body and the mind and the heart into alignment. So Chris, are you nice and comfortable?
Okay, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, good.
And you nice and comfortable?
Yes.
Great. I'd just like you to take a deep breath to help you start relaxing right now. And just begin to follow my voice. The more you hear my voice, the deeper you will relax. And now I'd like you to place your right hand upon your heart and breathe deeply. Deeply in and deeply out. In through the nose and out through the mouth. And I will do the same. Just breathe in and breathe out. Feel your chest expand and feel your hand rise up and down with your breath. And feel yourself relaxing, letting go, letting any cares of the day just fade away. Breathe in relaxation. Breathe out any tensions. Imagine that your heart itself is breathing that air in and out. Imagine that your heart is breathing and moving the air throughout your body. We are aligning the heart and mind, bringing them into coherence as we do this. And now I'm going to ask the original life force energy of Chris to guide this session for us. Each breath in and out of your heart connects you completely with your original life force energy. Each breath in and out reminds us that our deepest connection with Source and our own greatest wisdom resides within the realm of the heart space. Your heart knows. My heart also knows. We are aligning our energies. We're aligning our hearts and our minds. Each breath in and out of your heart connects you completely with Source. Each breath in and out connects your heart with my heart and with Source. And now you may place your hands in any position in which they're comfortable. Relax even deeper, and we will begin. As we gather here now in this safe and sacred place, I ask that only the highest and most divine original energy source expressions and beings be allowed to participate. I invite Chris's guides, angels, cosmic and soul family, and Chris as an ascended master to join us today. Also, I invite my own guides, angels, and myself as an ascended master to assist and participate in Chris's journey. And now that Chris is surrounded by all of our combined teams, we ask that our and their energy amplify and broadcast Chris's intention for this session across all realms of multidimensional reality to support her. And we ask for the most benevolent outcome for all. When you are connected in this way to only the highest and most divine original source beings, you know that you are safe and you are protected in every way. I want you to visualize a beautiful pyramid made of white light. Imagine this light pyramid around your body so that it encloses your entire body. See it sparkle and shimmer and know that it will remain around you during the entire session. Know that you are protected at all times. Being surrounded by these beings and infused with the light of Source, you might begin to feel maybe a warmth of a vibration, or just a deep sense of knowingness that you can access any wisdom you seek. With each breath, this truth vibrates deeper within your body, within your bones and your blood and your cells. And at the same time, this connection expands your consciousness and expands your awareness. And as your awareness expands, you find it easy to just let go of all expectations about what might be in store for your journey. You find it easy to release the idea of anything at all, needing to be in any certain way. And you find that is a very nice feeling indeed. Leave your body here with me now, and I will care for you in the softest way. Just follow my voice, and I'll be right here all the while. Now imagine that you are sitting outside in an open landscape, in a place not quite here, not quite there, familiar in the deepest sense, familiar to your essence of being. Can you find a place like this? What does it look like?
There is there is a green snake here. It's very broad shoulders. Yes. It's very outdoors, like brown earth.
Mm-hmm. And how does this green snake appear to you? What sense do you feel about it?
It has a net, like its mouth, its fangs, its opening.
Does it feel like it's trying to attack you, perhaps?
No.
No?
Expressing.
Is there any information you want to gather from this snake? Do you want to ask it anything? Or are you happy to keep going?
He will be expressing. They will be expressing through the session. Is sufficient. He tried to say the name, the calling forward of the phonetic combination, snoth, or it's much more gentle than that, though I can't get it. It's
okay. But does this seem like a benevolent energy?
Yeah.
A guide. Thank you.
Yeah.
Good. All right. In this place, there is truth and there is peace. Do you feel that?
Yeah.
And quiet and stillness and being. You simply are, you are, you are. Nothing here holding you back. Nothing here holding you down. Nothing here keeping you from where you need to go. Just ultimate silence and ultimate peace and ultimate stillness. Just you, just being. And imagine the air, the space just in front of you beginning to shimmer and shift. And you see appearing before you, an opening into another space. It looks a bit like a tunnel. And you watch and you wonder and you feel your body begin to smile. There is moving, swirling, beautiful crystalline light. This light is magnificent, the most beautiful sparkling light you've ever seen. This is pure photonic light. And you know what you see before you is a living consciousness portal, a sacred gateway, and your spirit begins to lightly rise up and away from your human form. And the essence of you moves towards the light. Through this portal of light are all of the stars and all of the worlds and all of the lives you have lived and are yet to live. All of the loves you have known and are yet to know. All of your family here and now. Everything you have ever known as being and non-being. And you float into the light and find yourself amidst a space so vast, with colors so clear and so unique that they are yours and yours alone. And as you float, you feel so safe, so warm, so comfortable. You're traveling to the most relevant time. You're traveling to the most necessary place. Through dimensions that are known and unknown. In the fabric of the light, you move and travel and float, floating to the most necessary time, floating to the most relevant place, moving through any barriers of where you thought you could not go, moving through any barriers of where you have not been and never imagined. And you go because you can. And you are the very essence of this movement and light. Arriving here now is the most relevant time. Arriving here now is the most necessary place. As the movement slows, you begin to gather your bearings. As the movement stops, you begin to feel your point of view. Here and now, in this time, in this place. The most relevant and necessary time and place. And as you feel yourself now in this time and in this place, I want you to tell me the very first things that you see or the very first impressions you have as you begin to understand where you are and what is happening.
I guess I'm too excited about this, so they just need me to go just a little bit deeper.
Okay.
So
That's all right. So just taking a deep breath and feeling really relaxed. So just relaxing. Are you okay with elevators?
yeah.
Okay. I'd like you to imagine that there's some elevator doors in front of you right now. And they're opening up, and you can step inside. See and feel yourself stepping inside this elevator now. Before you is a panel of about 20 buttons. You can select any floor that you would like. You can press that button now, and the doors are slowly closing. And now you feel yourself being pulled down, back and back and back, down further, deeper and deeper and deeper, to places you have never been before. Deeper and deeper, back and back and back. You feel yourself being pulled to the very most necessary time and place. In a moment, the doors will open once the lift has stopped. But right now, you feel that swift movement down, deeper and deeper and deeper, as we go further back and back and back to the most appropriate time and place that has information that you need. Begin to be aware of the elevator slowing down now. It's coming to a stop. And now the doors are beginning to slowly open. You see before you a white curtain of sheer bright light. In a moment, you're going to be able to step forward and move aside that curtain. And you'll be at the most appropriate time and place. The doors are opening now, and you see the white light. You can step forward and move that white light curtain aside. Do that now. What do you see behind the curtain? What is happening for you?
There's like a edge of a table, and that's like moving a little bit. It's kind of like a heart, like the dip at the top of a heart, and it's opening and moving.
What else do you sense around you?
A lot of different people's energy.
And do you think these other people notice you?
in the same way as if you were in a large crowd.
Okay.
Yes, the information is healing, but the presence of intention is more important. The forecasting, foreshadowing of events with details is not necessary, as much so as is the coming forward of persons with intent of creating energetic boundaries. The containment of such systems cannot be held back for much longer. The pouring out and overflowing of you to others, of one to the another, to the next, to beyond. Mileage, more so, large, expansive areas. Important placement of individuals moving in transit and containing all of this life force energy, the open they show me like a faucet, but I don't have a word for that. Pouring through force. Like that.
So like a passionate life force energy, is that what you
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It feels very much so would like to spread out throughout. Oh, containment. Useful at times for taking the energy in, transmuting within the system. More important at this time, taking the energy in as the going forth is transmitting within. So, without as within, understand.
Okay. And where do you feel you are right now? Do you feel like this is more a place of energy where you perceive beings of energy, or does it feel like a real place and time for you right now?
It is a movement like a chalkboard.
Okay. And when you're in this crowd, do you perceive others as energy beings beside you?
The crowd
Do you?
doesn't have to stay.
Sorry.
The crowd doesn't have to stay.
Okay.
Um, mm, Try another question.
Okay. Can you
Similar,
see?
just.
Similar. Okay. Well, I was just wondering what you're perceiving, whether it's a scene of a life Chris has had, or whether this is more an energetic expression and representations of things going on in the world right now.
This is all of humanity faltering as they're not coming forth from their homes and sharing and spreading love, creativity, energy coming forth. The stifling of energetic communion with others has great repercussions for the energetic imbalance of the planet.
So is the things, the events going on right now, is that
Real quick, they just said we are Dominion. So
we're dipping
I
in?
think, no, like Dominion. We are Dominion. I don't know if that's their name who's talking. This came from right over here.
Is this the collective?
We are a portion of energy who wishes to come forth to break that same gift of the Adirondack glacial frequency, that healing energy, breaking the ice between the heart transmission through the throat and the head. This same energy is sage, silvery, light, medium green colored. This formulation of energies, is like the is like roots in a tree, the spreading and movement. Here and here, all working together. Communion. Interplay, interrelatedness. Relationship of opposites, young and old, hot and cold. Union, togetherness, is dominion, a name for this energy to call upon. Balancing, creativity, balancing creative energies through the sharing with others. You can call us this, yes.
Are there others who are utilizing your energy at this time, but perhaps don't realize that this is what the energy is? Like other healers, light workers, perhaps?
When everyone calls upon a star system, no matter how small, as if a pinprick in the fabric of time here, for you all, as this travels forward, we are the connecting piece.
So you're a necessary piece that people just perhaps don't have a name for at this time?
That is a pleasant expression.
And you've come forth today to express information. Is that for the broader humanity on Earth at this time?
Yes, creative expression is often misunderstood to be a personal recollection, insight, breakthrough. Mm-hmm. Creativity is the right, a behemoth, a massive powerhouse of energy, expressed dutifully from source creator, from source creator, from source creator, to source creator, to source creator, to source creator, expanding infinitely in multidimensional realities such as yours.
Mm-hmm. So do humans need to learn that they have more creative expression together, collectively, rather than on an individual level?
Said in another way, this creativity does not reside within you. You do not own it. Mm-hmm. You are mere expressions of it, though mere is an inappropriate term in the way of galactic constellations, as you can look into the sky and create connections with your eye between what you see, all at varying degrees. Is the light being emitted and transferring to the frequency of perception. In this way, the wholeness of humanity can be characterized. The coming forth of the creative expression in many different ways, even in the taking of 2 seconds before responding to a person, taking away the anger, the hurt, the frustration, the fear, the pain of this interaction or what reverberation it instilled in you. This is all one and the same creative life force energy. This needs to be maintained, as the fear is selfishness melts away, coming forth out of the shadows, seemingly causing a ruckus. It's creative energy. Some would call it chaos. Some would call it redundancy, as they have not fully learned how to appreciate it with the mental faculties and the senses of a physical body, which would be most pleasurable for anybody at this time to enhance the creative aspect, take it into the mind. Take the feeling of creativity into the mind and let it grow. Let it grow roots, as we have said before, in the mind, in the fertile soil of the mind, in through the energetic body, connecting back through the earth, allowing the earth to replenish the creative faculty, the creative function, the creative mind. All reasoning that begins in the mind is reverberated throughout the heart. So in this natural cleansing process, the two will be coming together. The fear, smoke and mirrors, illusionment, disillusion, all of this will be coming forward for cleansing and clearing in the creative mind's eye manifestation of creative feeling of aliveness.
So do humans need to focus on clearing and cleansing and letting go of their fears to allow this to come forward?
This is something they cannot do alone. They cannot do it with much assistance either at times, because the stronghold is as a vine would choke a tree. We are here to create strong roots, the pathways, the neural pathways for creative expression. If this can be brought into the mind more so daily, more so throughout interactions with others, more so in the pausing and the looking for. You understand, the pausing and the looking for, and getting, expecting and hoping and being fruitful, and getting the creative expression. These things will naturally dissipate. The selfishness that is contained within the fear and the stagnation and the closeness and the littleness of the heart, it cannot be opened by many means which the healer may employ. This still is done through the conscious recollection of Earth's memory with this individual soul, releasing for all in these times, in the space. So misdeeds and miscommunications and functions of, as you would say, evil. These coming through the individual at this time, we have noticed, has much difficulty letting go, releasing, moving forward. And those that just cannot seem to go forward in this way at this time are choosing to leave the earth, cleansing and coming back, supporting, coming together as a gentle tapestry, weaving back a softness into earth. And the softness into earth is recalculated through humanity's interaction with earth. So, creativity. Creativity is a message that we express forth as if we had a loudspeaker booming, booming, taking forward in this time. Creativity, feeling of creativity, allowing this to come forward. A lot has been healed and much more can be healed. At this time, creative measures will shake loose those last bits.
When you say creative measures, is that humans, everyday humans, creating the life that they want rather than what currently is?
Broader implications, but yes, same. Squeeze forward as if you were pouring mustard on a hot dog. You understand? Mustard on a hot dog, very small stream. What we propose is giant sized ketchup, where you squeeze so hard and all of a sudden it comes out all over at once. And you're sad because you wanted to eat that hot dog. This is what we are saying. What we can provide is an umbilical cord, as if the nourishment coming forward for the creative aspects of self could be maintained as if in utero, in the birthing process, in the creative consumption process. Take in what we have to offer and create with that.
Mm.
A fire hose, if this resonates, as opposed to a leaky faucet.
Yeah. So do people connect with this more internally, more inwardly, through their own selves? Is that how they really need to tap into their own creative expression? Or is this something they should do outwardly, externally to themselves?
The majority of people think that creative expression is a thing to be subdued. And so as they allow it fitfully to come forward, they think it is theirs. They think they own it. They think they own the rights to this, the permission to this, the subjugification of that. They think the feeling that we are proposing, as we say, much broader, the feeling that we are proposing of creativity to come forth is saying, no more. I understand that this is flowing freely at all times, as you two are doing here now. This cannot be contained. These messages are coming forth for the good of humanity, as in these creative expressions, in whatever way they may come forth, are coming forth for the highest good of all concerned here, not just humanity, all species and specimens of consciousness evolving. The feeling and sensation coming forward is you take this creativity, the feeling of creativity, and let it reverberate outward. Let it draw unto you others nigh who are also of the same subjugation. Let them feel the cleansing and clearing of your creative expression, the health and well-being, the good-naturedness, the good-temperedness, the humanity of you being pleased with making mistakes as they are incorporating the feeling of going forward. No more, no more sorrow and sadness. No more. Souls that are leaving at this time have chosen in ways that are oh, it's like this is me talking right now. They're saying it's loving, but they're giving me a feeling of it, and it is so full. It's like I'm being contained within a crystal and it's being refracted, the light of it. It's like the love that these souls are giving back to us as they exit. It's phenomenal. It's no sorrow and sadness within them.
So really, some of these souls might see it as a releasement, because they get back into the non-physical, back to the connection of that infinite love, and they
And it's as if they're adding timber to the fire, that they are helping to incite the new revolution of thought, of creativity, of coming forward, as these things will be necessary, very much so, as things continue to change on this planet.
Do you see things changing rapidly on this planet at this time, as more souls leave and as more energies coming in and more beings helping humanity at this time?
There were two answers. It's me talking again. It feels very he. So he is saying, the way of Christ comes slowly or not at all.
Fair enough.
I don't know what that means.
What was the second answer?
There were two different things, so maybe that's why he had me slow down.
Oh, okay. Yep.
You can go ahead. You can ask more questions off that, though.
Okay. A lot of humans get attached to their trauma and their drama, and they find it difficult to let go of these things. And a lot of that's from programming and conditioning throughout the generations. How do humans easily, or more easily, let go of the dramas and traumas that keep them entrapped? Is that part of an evolutionary process that they really need to go through to allow and accept things that have happened to expand their soul? Or is this something that's really shifting right now and at much greater speed than previously?
You are correct in all of these things. This perception has come full circle within you as you understand that all of these hardships have been created and perpetuated by you and for you and to you and unto you. And all of these things, the expansion of the soul and the coming together, the expansion, dissociation, this expansion and coming together, this anger, hurt, mistrust, misgiving, failing, feeling, is all the semblance of relying upon things
Outside of self?
outside of self, human, physical, reality, even the reliance upon something such as, I feel as though I should be not worried about this or that. The feeling coming forward is of all of this strangulation, structure, control, all of this is breaking, heaving within the souls of humanity, heaving to let go of these is no longer necessary. The constructs of society are maintained dutifully through souls that have no moral compass, no internal sense of right for them, wrong for them. And also the implications fuller, as you have expressed, of the learning of lesson, the learning of forgiveness is always the ultimate goal, is coming together with self. The coming together in another with the pains and wrongdoings inflicted upon the self as is now is always a healing for multidimensional frequencies. It is a healing and a transmission. It is sending forth this reverberation, this feeling of context, the feeling of coming forward and out of is pleasurable and enjoyable. It is always helping speed up your own evolution. The more trouble you can get into, the more ruckus you can cause or others can create hardship for you, the stronger your connection with source energy. You understand?
Yes.
Always.
People need to follow their joy more, but some of them just don't, and they don't understand. They think they're separate. They don't have that connection to source.
This is how you can help give it to them. You can
Yeah.
create in your mind this feeling of creativity and share it with them. Even though your neighbor here, you may be opposed on all sides potentially. Even though they don't consciously think they are aware of these types of things, they are, and they are interacting with these high frequency energies in the same way that you are, to the ability of their conscious perception. As you awaken the feeling and spread it throughout, as others do, placed here and there across the globe, this assistance comes forward and transmissions to them. They may not get overnight breakthroughs, as in something as terrible as they understand why somebody abused them and terrorized them, and now they can look them in the eye and forgive them. They may get creative breakthroughs in a new way to open the coffee can. This seemingliness of a hierarchy and levels of expansion is only perceptible to the human eye. We see this as a great joy. The person coming forward, expressing a new way of creativity, working in the garage, working in the garden, working with something physical, working with the way that they talk to a child. No matter what it is, allowing that small sliver of creativity to beam in is very useful for the individual.
Do you think humans need to concentrate more on being creative rather than being distracted by all the things that are in the world to distract them, such as entertainment, social media, things that just they're not really benefiting the whole of humanity? They're just a way of hiding and self-medicating from the world.
We can look at these things in a numerous amount of ways. As social media, the expression of self throughout to other selves, we know that this is creative. Yes?
Yes.
The opposite side. Look at these
formula, archaic institutions of sending out pre-packaged media to accompany a way of thinking. This has great benefit. Look at the amounts of money that an actor would make. Look at something like that. He is saying, I free flow, or she is saying, I free flow with the spirit of combining with an idea and expressing it for film. What we are saying here is there is no difference in what you are doing now. As Kristine's embodiment, her spirit, her soul, is coming together with ours for fullest expression, is no difference. It is no different. It is no different. It is no different. We can sense the doubt that those who would hear this message would understand this to be as though this person is lying or faking as an actor. This is not true. This person is coming together with the embodiment of an energy that they wish to portray. And this is the same thing done in this channeling or trance or metaphysical work. So, yes, these things are all beneficial. They become distractions when the self cannot be contained a bit more within the self. When the energy goes forward looking for some stimulation, this can be problematic because the stimulation, as we have said, stimulation, creative energy, are all contained within self. So the source connection, bringing that forward, stimulating the creative juices, as people say, stimulating the function of the economy even, the function of the very basics of humanity, of living in the way that you have become accustomed to, based on others' creative stimulation. Their thinking has brought forward ways of implementing ideas that have become widely accepted, and it is nothing more than this.
So do you think humans need to really understand the power of their thoughts, that really does create reality and their own reality?
There may be some will and some who won't. This is of no concern in the long run, because as long as you can help them, assist them to allow these sparks of creative to flow through them, this is divinity. This is divinity enough. There are many, as you know, different origin sources for humanity at this point. And there are many different evolutionary compromises, some here, explosions, some here, coming forward in different ways. And all of these, the main goal is to express source here.
So really the diversity that is within humanity should be embraced.
Yes, very, very, very much so. It is all the most beautiful, more than you could ever imagine. We can say these things to Kristine in ways that she has closely enjoyed a pleasurable experience. It is the most pleasurable of pleasurable experiences, the awareness of different frequencies and the coming together and the harmonic resonance. This interaction between souls is, from our point of view, seen, felt, heard as by you, embraced and embodied by us. The more you can come forward with us and we can come forward with you, the more pleasurable experience for all upon this whole planet. Not just you as beings of consciousness that are aware of each other, beings of consciousness that have just started existing in this way, that may be reflections of you as well, as in grains of sand. Whatever you may be, nitrogen, a place of wanting to come forward to co-create in that way. This is a very beautiful thing. And the more fullness, creative sparks of energy that can be let in and released lights up the whole world. It has a humming and a frequency all of its own, as you know. But this coming together with Earth, it's loving the experience of being here, loving the experience of source coming through, forgiving and letting others go, letting them make their mistakes and go on their way, blessing them with love, light, kindness, blessing them with love, light, and kindness, blessing them with love, light, and kindness is the way to be, is the only true way to be. Some can get, we will add on, some can get so caught up in the processing that they will continue to reinstigate the story, and the victimhood stays. The release is not possible. This is a very difficult thing for most to achieve without a very structured regimen of thinking, of a new coercive type of thinking, which you and Kristine can put together. This can be a 4-week study course. This can be something to take into account the structures of thinking, embracing the masses. This, we can speak more to this personally later in your channeling. This energy coming forward can be very helpful. But for most people, they will not be interested in this, and that is okay.
Yeah, I think humanity, a large part in general terms, is still very much learning to allow others their own journey and learning to follow their own joy. Many stay stuck in their own story, like you said, and they're constantly activating that energy. And so it's, yeah, like you said, it's helping people learn those things to create different stories, new narratives, to be able to heal and move past those things, to follow their own joy and their own creativity. Do you think, are you able to say much about how humanity has been influenced by others, or is that really a manifestation of shadow things that were already existing within the consciousness of humanity as a whole?
Humanity has plenty to worry about in their own thinking without bringing in other entities.
So there's a lot of things people hear about on the planet. That certain people on the planet have tried to have power over others through structures of society, institutions, education, government, lots of different things. And do you think humanity is unintentionally or intentionally allowed those things, really, by taking their eye off the ball? Or is this all part of a much grander plan for humanity to awaken and expand part in all their souls as expressions of source energy?
If we funnel this down to your personal experience, as you put your attention on these things being true, you're giving away your rightful power, your dutiful sense of connection with source, with creative energy. This is what we wish to manifest here in this world for you. As if you could annihilate these sources of confusion within the self and come forward full circle with the expression of, as you become aware, send these things light, as if light bombs, as if so bright and so bold, as if you think of the educational system. Yes? You think of your child going to school. You think of the multi-misgivings. You think of these things and you send them this light. And where should this light come from? The heart. And where should the heart receive it from? The connection between earth and source energy, your natural divinity, can supply mountains of energy. This is necessary because if the energy comes through you, obviously you will become very impaired very quickly. The energy coming from source, the highest of you, moving through you, transmitting through earth, transmitting through the heart and back again, you understand? Sending it forward, thinking of the school, thinking of the teachers, thinking of the specific principles, perhaps, that you have contested in your mind's eye, in your imagination, not allowing these fallacies to grow, allowing light to come in and resolve the issue.
Mm-hmm. That's wonderful. Thank you. So really having our own connection with source is really important, isn't it? And that co-creative sense in all the ways we wish the world to be changed and to be different.
Yes, look at one string, one single string, as if you had a very light string hanging from, say, perhaps the button on your shirt came undone. You can break that string very easily. But now, as in that example, crossing it over, or braiding it, or multi-strings coming together, these are much harder to break. This is what the connection with Source will do for you. These multi-strings crossing, coming together, braidedness, a really complete braidedness, you understand, interspersement of energy, allowing this to come forward will not give credence to any of these who do have power, who would wish to consume the souls of others for their own well-being in a naturally disastrous way.
Mm. So when people are seeing mixed messages on a lot of different media platforms, is it better that they really sort of disconnect from some of this and really have their own connection with their own inner self, their own source energy, and focusing on creating the world they really want rather than buying into the narratives of others?
That is a very good point, and we would wish to add here that this is even true for this information that is coming forward today. This information will resonate with some strongly, will make them feel like dancing on their tiptoes, leaping about. And for others, this information will feel false, will not resonate with their spirit. There will be another way, another path shown to them. This intrusion of thought will be better mended to a clarity of soul's essence and being. So, in the coming forward, as the soul is connected to oneself, it will be easier to take in and take out what is useful and what is not needed.
Mm. That's wonderful. Thank you. And do you see Chris and I creating a course to help people connect more to their own inner source being, their own higher self, and to sort of, I guess,
You too will be cleansing the thoughts of
yeah,
others. This is a exceptional place to start. And in this format, this would be a daily assistance to individuals, humanity who has come forward to be able to express the fullness clearly, fully, and openly. This, starting as a 4-week course, would be sufficient, and allowing it to grow, allowing it to be tailored as you two grow an understanding of what the vastness of this subject that could be exposed will mean to you.
mm. And I guess, for broader humans, it's understanding that there's other higher dimensional beings that are always sort of willing to work with you and come through your energy as you're expressing in the physical.
We stay waiting like young children, pulling and scratching and hoping and helping. Please call on us.
Well, I think Chris has connected to a number of beings already that sort of come through her, work through her. I'm just wondering if any of them are there ready to say hi, that we'll be working with. We've connected to Horace in the past. Just wondering if Horace is there or any other beings are there that will assist us in creating these courses.
Yes, he has come forward and he has said slander. So as you were saying his name, slander, the word and the image of a very flat top. It's like an oval, like a teardrop. It was like the top of his, like Tibet, I think is the word. And it's like showing how powerful your words are. As you curse others through slander, you curse others. And as you curse others, you curse self. We can look into this more fully as well later and create blocks of light beings to assist others in numerous ways. In the same way, of course, for removing slander from the speech, occult magic it would be called now. This is pertinent, important, useful, practical magic.
So really teaching people to use their words more wisely, as they have great power, far more than humans are aware and understand at the moment.
Yes.
In general terms.
Yes.
Thank you.
And now the other community, so like the elven, fairy, happy, small, hiding in nature type community is coming forward, and they have expressed their name as Harmony, that we can call upon them for assistance. They are coming forward as like a running so fierce towards us that like the earth is shaking, it's rumbling.
Wow, seems like there's a lot of them.
There's a lot of them. Yeah. They added that it also encompasses certain animals.
Okay.
Animals with a magnitude for compassion. Not the stalker type as a tiger. The one being stalked as a deer. So for protection from divine, for protection from divine feminine. So, like, when in the receptive mode, call upon Harmony for assistance in creating boundaries. The same could be said, we can give you spells as well. We can give you words to choose carefully at this time to ask for these things as you go in, creating the proper environment for healing and such to occur.
Well, I think that would be very useful for humanity, particularly, I guess, combating the other energies that are on Earth.
Wait, hold on. They're still talking. When you said that, they said we can. No, it's he's answering you. He's so I can try to kind of sing it. It's like slow ray to modify to beat a go, got about to get a go, cause about to get a go, cause about to go, about to get a go, about. It's a very lively song. It's very upbeat. It's very jumpy. They're jumping back and forth on their feet and like swaying their bottoms towards the ground. It's like so ray to bada gotta get a go. That. Oh, that's a useful start.
Okay. And
Also, for removing shame, they said that most people will be ashamed to make noises in this way. This will be a powerful release. Embarrassment. And the moving about, most people also will be embarrassed and feel shame to move about in this way with such non-restriction. But this will be useful as well. And the pranic yoga settlement of squeezing down the knees and being as if a bug gently swaying its bottom close towards the ground. This could not be done enough At least 5 minutes a day would be useful for most digestive systems,
Okay.
especially the Western world with the restriction of diet and certain fibrous materials.
Mm.
This energy also needs to come close to the earth. It is not just a transmission down the legs. This is true in a certain capacity. The strength, though, is the transmission from the spine right directly into the earth. Right directly into the earth.
Okay. So movement like dance, you mentioned, is really important in terms of moving energy, really.
Yes, if it wasn't, you wouldn't have chose a vehicle vessel. Vehicle.
Physical
Oh,
vehicle
that's
that
the
can
word
move.
they're saying. It's a physical vehicle. A vehicle.
So people don't move their physical vehicle enough. Is that what you're
Yeah.
saying? They
Yeah.
need to get up and move more. And
Yeah.
yeah.
In the most absurd seeming of ways. Just let it all go.
Mm. Break up stagnant energy. Absolutely. Is that where a bit like dancing comes in? Like people need to dance more?
Yes.
That's awesome. Thank you. Okay. Now, a lot of humans aren't aware of the lot of different energies that are around them. Some people are more in tune, when they enter a room, they kind of feel that, oh, the energies in here is not so good. And other times you walk into a room and you really feel that joy and happiness. How can humans, help shift and change those kind of energies? The energies that perhaps can attach to people, I guess, is what I'm talking about, such as thought forms, things that can really influence people that they're really not aware of, but have such a big effect on humans.
Being in the light yourself and sharing this with others in their physical presence is the number one useful way to start at this time. There are many different specific practices we can recommend if you would make a list of these things.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I'm very much interested in that kind of information. Are you able to provide any more details now?
Oh, every situation is so unique. There are many, many facets to it. It is difficult to talk in general terms as you understand the basics and you understand why those who do not understand the basics would be in such a way of exhibiting on earth. And it is not good or bad. There is no such thing. There are some who are and some who aren't, and some who will be and some who won't.
That's
No,
very
of no
true.
consequence. Imagine going into a party and everybody was quietly assessing the energy, and there was no person to come forward to have physical live energy. What a boring party that would be!
That's so true.
So there are many with different coming forwards at this time or that time, and nobody is always the same. Nobody will always approach every party in the same way. This mass group, this gathering of individuals. Sometimes some will be nervous, sometimes some will be sad, sometimes some will need the healing themselves, sometimes they will need to be the center of attention. There are many different ways to look at this.
That's very true. That's very true.
But a list will be useful upon our next encounter if you wish.
Yes, I would very much appreciate that. Thank you. So I guess Chris's main intention was she really wanted this broader message for humanity at this time. Given the things that are going on in the world, and you've mentioned you really want humans to connect with their creative expression, and there's a number of ways they can tap in and tune into that. You've mentioned movement and obviously their thoughts and their words. all connected to this creative expression. Are there any other messages you wish to convey to humanity at this time, given the current state of issues and energies and things going on in the world? Is there anything you'd like to say
Creativity will rule.
Will rule. Okay. Wonderful. And is that really because people are co-creating with source, whether they understand it or not?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Wonderful. Well, are there any messages you have for Kris herself at this time? Any ways that she can further do more channeling with other groups or with you yourself? Is there any messages you have for her specifically?
We are giving it to her energetically now.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Okay. We will add our specific verbal message for Kristine is the companionship that she was sought after is contained within herself. So do more looking inside.
So once she connects more to her inner self in terms of self-love, do you mean that
She just has to look for friends there inside.
Deep within inside? Okay.
There are many who wish to speak through her.
Are there any now who would like to speak through her?
There's a waiting list.
Okay, well, let's let the next one come step forward. If Kris is happy to do that.
There's a little baby deer, like Bambi, like that one, with very big eyes. And it said, I came full well knowing that I would be the target of others' attacks on me. And I relish the thought of getting away.
That's beautiful. Is that all the little deer has to say?
The realization that all is in divine order. The running and hiding and living are fun too in the physical. Everything can be fun in the physical.
Yep.
There's no need for so much sorrow and pity. These are not very useful emotions.
No.
They're not accurate in the description of the life force energy. Commencing and leaving the physical vessel.
So people need to enjoy their physical experience more, would you say?
It is the reason you came.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But some people focus too much on other things, don't they? And the sorrow and the sadness. And really they should be focusing on the joy and the things they can do in the physical right here and now.
Let this creative spark be within, in and within, in and within. The creative spark, divine life force, source energy. Let this be within and in. All that they do, all that they can see, all that they can be, all that they will be, all that they are. Let this be the main central point. And allow for this, please, as many of you who will heed this call. Allow this creative energy to come through you, be expressed through you, out to the many. Okay, you can tidy up any questions, he said.
Well, I think you've sort of clarified a lot for us that really, as beings, we've chosen to come into this reality in a physical manifestation, and it's so much effort to come into this physical manifestation. We really need to be concentrating on more joy, and more joy with each other, really, I think, rather than division. Humans can create so much, and they are really loving and caring people towards each other, and we just need to really recognize that about each other.
A clarification would be that you have chosen to become harbingers of specific messages, and some of these have included a physical incarnation on Earth at this time. There are many different expressions of the messages coming forth contained within the frequency of the soul. That are also expressing the message in other ways.
Yes. Because we won't all hear it the same way, will we? So there needs to be, I guess, many messages for the many different diverse people that are on the world, and different vibrational matches. So yes, there's many teachers that have come forth at this time.
The more followers, the broader the message. Very starting out point. The more secluded the grouping becomes, the more precise the messaging. The more excitement for souls like you two.
Yes. That's a really great, and I think that's really true of like the Abraham teachings. That's a more really broad message because that was for a much broader audience. So yeah, I would definitely agree with that. Yeah, thank you.
Useful premise.
Yes, definitely. Well, thank you so much for speaking with us today. Is there anyone else further who wishes to speak today at this time before we wrap up our session?
Okay, it's good.
It's good. Wonderful. Thank you. Well, now I give great thanks to the groups that came forward, Harmony and Dominion. And the little baby deer, and anyone else who imparted messages for us today. We really thank you very much. And now I'm asking for all the consciousness and personality of Chris to once again return to the physical body. All the consciousness and personality of Chris to once again return fully into the physical body. Wonderful. Thank you. And now just coming back to your physical body and waking up when you're ready. You feel wide awake and refreshed all over. How are you feeling, Chris?
Oh, my eyes are so itchy. Oh, really good.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, that was really nice. Dominion. Oh, wow. Okay. Okay. Wow. All right. Okay.
So I just want to clarify for the audience that
Yeah.
Chris has done multiple past life regressions and multiple BQH sessions. So this isn't what an average session would look like. Chris is a very good channel, and once a person gets to this point, you literally can go in and you don't even need to see past lives. You can literally just end up becoming straight the clear channel. And certainly the last few of my sessions with other people have certainly become this way. So for anyone who hasn't done a past life regression or a BQH before, this may not be what a session looks like for you. But Chris has obviously done a lot of work, and she's done a lot of channeling. So that's why her session was like today, because she's very much connected to source and spirit already. So just wanted to clarify that point.
That's true. It's a little bit different too, is because I have been able to channel for years before that, and I didn't know it was as clear as what I was doing is now. Not until I got into the spiritual community and they had a name for it, that this is what this is called, So I just thought that, I was asking God, and God was working through me. But, so that's a good point. And it wasn't, and it's not always as clear. So sometimes, like if anybody noticed, if I have like an emotional response to what is said, or if I can't hold contact with what the practitioner is saying. Like sometimes when Natalie was talking, I couldn't hold my conscious mind on her words, so I couldn't get the feeling of it to come forward. So there was nothing for them to respond to. So that's another thing too, that every session would be a little bit different in that way too. That
Absolutely.
As we've worked together a lot now,
it's
very good.
Together.
Yeah.
So again, it wouldn't be if you just work with someone for the first time. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll sign off now from our live broadcast.
Yep.
Yep.
Thanks very much, Chris.
All right. Yeah. Thanks, everybody. And then just comment below if anybody has any questions that they would like clarification about for either today's session, or if there's something else that maybe you'd like us to address in a later session, we can do that as well too. And I'll put all the links below to Natalie's healing channels as well. She has even additional practices that she has brought in too that are very useful. We've worked together and done some of these spirit releasement therapy techniques too. So those are always very interesting, because a lot of times people think that, if you have like an entity attached to you, another energy, it's something like evil from like a horror movie. But a lot of what we found was there was like pieces of people who cared for me, or who wanted to kind of like hide from something. And like she just showed them love and had them come forward, and just kind of coax them out of hiding and help them to return to a plane of existence where they could really be a fuller expression of themselves, not contained within my field anymore, but back into their own field. So those are really beautiful sessions too. So that's another thing that Natalie does too. So all those links will be below in the description of the video. And thanks for tuning in today.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay.